we are talking about leveling and the most efficient ways to level in Final Fantasy XIV. Now, this is going to be geared towards newer players because the Xbox players are going to be able to play for the first time. Starting out, I'm going to be talking about a few things to know and then go right into roulettes and then into suggestions of what you should do for each level range. If you are a first-time player, you should not really have to worry about leveling your first job at all because the main story gives you enough XP to get to whatever the max class is. So if you bought the Endwalker expansion, the MSQ will get you all the way to 90. If you are in the free trial, it'll get you all the way to 70. There's no need to worry about doing any of these alternative methods on your main job. Just focus on the main story. Another thing to note is whenever you eat food, you get a 3% XP buff. This adds up over time. You can buy very cheap food at any of the 3 main cities of the game when you first start out. Now we're going to talk about roulettes and the most efficient way to level, not necessarily the most efficient way to learn your job. Now, one thing to note, this is a general statement and can change based off the amount of time that you spend in a match. But Frontlines is the best roulette in order to get XP. It'll give you about a half a level at any level over level 30 because you have to be level 30 and do all of your job quests to get your job stone in order to do Frontlines. Sometimes matches will go longer than say the 10-minute mark, so at 20 minutes it is not the most efficient way to get XP, but you can expect about a half a level from Frontlines anytime you do that. Next is the leveling dungeon. This will always be the second best or best method of leveling. These next 3 trials, Alliance Raid and MSQ Roulette, are all interchangeable based on the amount of time that you can spend in them, even though trials is slightly better XP ratio per minute than Alliance Raid and MSQ are, but if you wipe in any of these activities, that will decrease your time, but just know that that's the general rule of the order that you should do them. One thing I want to note with the Alliance Raid is I still expect it to be 3rd, but the XP values in 6.5 are changing based off of what Alliance Raid you get and how long the raid usually takes. So I would keep that in mind, but instead of Nier and Crystal Towers giving the same amount of XP, I would expect Nier to give more XP as they take longer than the Crystal Tower series. The XP bonus overall, I do expect to say 3rd overall based off of all of the available roulettes to you, but I just wanted to keep that in mind. These last 2 aren't really worth the time of XP, but feel free to run them if you want poetics or any materials, and that is 50, 60, 70, 80, and normal raids. If this is the type of content you enjoy, feel free to do it as you do get an additional bonus of XP, but there are other methods that could be worth it. Please note that roulette XP bonus scaling is based off of what level you are at. So if you're on the edge of getting a level, say you are at 51, super close to 52, it is better to do an alternative method to get to 52 before you run your roulette because the amount of XP that you get will scale based off of the level you are at. If none of these are available, please note the best way to level a job if you have no methods in order to level, whether it be any of the methods I mentioned further on or all of your roulettes are done, is spamming the highest available dungeon to you. So if you're at level 46, the highest available dungeon for you to run is level 44. So spamming that until you get to the next highest dungeon that is available, which is at 47, and then running that repeatedly. Now I'm going to talk about Wondrous Tales real quick because these do not apply to any of my methods, and that is because you get a half a level for getting a Wondrous Tale completed at any level, so it is better to be used on a higher level class than a lower level class. You can unlock Wondrous Tales once you get to Ishgard and have a class at level 60, and then you can turn them in to the vendor Chloe where you pick it up. Now for the most efficient way to level at every single range. So for 1 to 16, the best ways to level are going to be your hunt log, which will get you to about level 16, so you will be able to do the daily leveling roulette. If not, challenge log and leave quest challenges with few fates is another way you can get to level 16 quickly to unlock your first roulette. Challenge log tasks that are easy to complete are 10 fates, which will get you 2 challenge log bonuses, the leave quest for 5 unique leave quest completions and 20 total. You can cheese this sort of by doing some duty of the hand or land leave quest first, and then whenever you get close to a challenge completion, do a combat job leave quest, and this will allow you to get the XP on your combat job. And if you're having trouble with that, or if you want to mix up other content, you can do Palace of the Dead, as you can do this at any level 1 through 90. So keep that in mind, even though it is not the best way to level. Now leveling from 16 to roughly 70, it changes a little bit of what you should do. You should always do any roulettes that are available to you, and from levels 16 to 50, squadrons is not a bad way to level, as if you have squadrons leveled up and they're all leaned towards DPS, you can cruise through dungeons faster than you would if you are in Duty Finder. So don't sleep on your squadrons. Now do this all the way until roughly level 60, and 60 to 70 is the hardest part of this grind in my opinion. And basically you're doing the same as spamming any roulettes that are available, doing the highest available dungeon that is a leveling dungeon that is possible, and now you have Heaven on High content if you need to mix up the monotony of doing dungeons. As always, complete challenge logs and Wonders Tales as they're available to you. Now for free-to-play players, you don't have to worry about this, but for everyone else, from 71 to 90, the most efficient way to level any class will be Bajja. 20 events in Bajja is guaranteed a level. It scales regardless of if you are over level 80 or not, even though the content only goes up to 80. Bajja is the most efficient way to level. Now you have the opportunity to also do tribe quests with the pixies and the ones in Thavnir if you are at level 81. These are also extremely efficient ways of getting levels. This is actually on par with Bajja, even though it's limited to 3 per day. So even if you are on a level 80 or above class, do not skip your Pixie Beast Tribe quests. Another thing to do is Fates, as Shadowbringers and Endwalker Fates XP scaling is better than it is in previous areas, and there's a good thing to do while waiting for roulettes to pop. But yeah, that's basically everything you need to know about leveling and the most efficient ways to level. If anyone else has other suggestions, make sure to put it down in the comments below. But hopefully this helps out some of the new players that are getting into Final Fantasy for the first time. That's all I have for this video. I hope you have a great day.